Boxing footwork is one of the key and essential skill sets you need to develop in fighting. If you can't move your feet, you won't be able to get away from danger and you won't be able to attack. So today, I'm going to break down the basics and more advanced movements of boxing footwork, from moving the feet forward, back, and moving laterally around an environment. Today, I'm going to be teaching you as I would one of my students getting ready for a fight. We're going to start at the very basics and more advanced stuff later on in the video. First of all, we need to start with a strong boxing stance. Everything in boxing starts with a boxing stance. Now, if you haven't learned the boxing stance already, I've got other videos on my channel that I will explain and break it down. But this is essential to move on. First step, strong boxing stance, soft knees, elbows in, guard up. We're going to practice moving forward and backwards to start off with. Now, if you're in a fight, someone's in front of you, you need to be able to step towards the opponent and step away from the opponent. Now, if you can't do this, you're just a sitting duck. You're ready to get hit from all angles, all positions. Now, we need to be able to carry our body, our machine, forwards and backwards. So to start off with, I'm going to push off of my back foot to propel my lead foot forward, taking my first half of the step. This widens my stance. Now, in fighting, we should never bring our feet together. We should only expand the stance. So my stance is expanded, but I can't stay here. So I have to adjust the back foot a half step. So now I'm back in my original stance. Now make sure you're not taking too big of a step with the back foot. What we don't want to end up doing is moving the front foot and becoming square like this, making ourselves a massive target here. We want to keep our feet apart. Front step, back step. Landing in a nice strong boxing position, ready to throw punches, but also ready to defend as we're going forward. Now, if I'm going backwards, essentially it's the same in reverse. I have to move my back foot first, widening my stance, making space, but again, a place I can't stay, and adjust my front foot, keeping the gap, keeping the balance, keeping the strength in my body, okay? So what we're gonna do, practice a few times, going forward, going backwards, going forward, going backwards. This is a little bit like a dance, but as you get through boxing and you get more experience, you'll learn a lot of boxing is like dancing. So to start, front foot, back foot, keeping the space, back foot, front foot, back foot, front foot, back foot, front foot. Staying nice and balanced, being able to go towards and away from the opponent. Forwards, backwards, backwards, forwards. Front, back, back, front, back. A habit that is very common is dropping the hands while we're traveling. So how I like to think of it is, if you're driving a car, you need to be insured. You crash that car, you're in trouble, you're not covered, right? We need to be covered the whole time while we're traveling. This is our machine, this is our form of transport. Be insured by your hands and your elbows, protecting yourself, your guard. So when I move back front, my hands stay in the same position. I don't drop them to get leverage or position forward. No, I keep my guard strong the whole time. Back front, back. Back front, back. Back front, back. Ready to throw, ready to defend. Okay, so the next step, moving on, we have to be able to move laterally. So left and right. We need to be able to step right of the opponent, left of the opponent. If we can't, we're only limited to straight lines. And the minute someone starts moving around us, we're in trouble. Again, strong stance. We know this. Elbows in, hands up. When I'm moving to my right, the foot closest to that direction moves first. Pretty much in every direction we go to, every move we do, the foot closest to the direction we want to go moves first. So in this case, I'm going right. My right foot is going to move first. Stepping out, just like my front foot did when I'm going forward. I'll step to my right. I need to adjust my lead foot. Now here's where you have to pay attention, because you need to cut this position in half, right? We don't want to overstep. We want to land our left foot so that our feet are still on parallel lines. The minute we cross our legs, we're exposed to being dropped, being knocked down. If you've ever seen a fight where someone's crossed their legs and they've got punched at the same time, 9 times out of 10, they're getting dropped or they're getting wobbled. And this can put you in a bad position to get punched after, or it can just make you look terrible, right? So we want to be strong and balanced wherever we go. Right step, cut this stance in half, this wide stance with the left foot. Now my feet are on parallel lines. I'm still ready to fight. I'm going left. So you know the rule. If I'm going this direction first, the foot closest is going to move. Left foot, half the stance, right foot. I'm balanced. I'm ready for whatever's in front of me, whatever's to the side. Right foot, left foot. Left foot, right foot. Right foot, left foot. Left foot, right foot. There, and we get a rhythm. Like I said, this is all a dance. Get in a rhythm. Right, left. Left, right. Right, left, left, right. Right, left, left, right. Right, left, left, right. There you go. So that's the basics. Now we want to be able to put it together. So we want to be able to, at any moment in a fight, any moment in a situation, step towards my opponent, step away, step to the left, step to the right. Okay? But to get good at this, again, we need to find some form of rhythm, some form of practice we can stick to and make ourselves sharp. Because it's one thing learning it, but if you don't practice this, don't expect to be able to do it in a fight. You won't. If you only practice this one time, then that move is not yours. You haven't earned it. Right? So we have to earn it. How we're going to practice this? Guard up, elbows in. Again, I want you to think of it as a dance, a rhythm, a song. We step forward. We step back. We step left. We step right. So it's our 4 beat. Forward, back, left, right. Forward, back, left, right. We're going to stick to this. Forward, back, left, right. Now at the moment it's a slow rhythm, and so it should be, because we want to pay attention to detail and make sure our stance is strong. Like I said to you, it's so important. The feet come together, it's game over. Someone smart, someone good, someone with a strong hand is going to drop you, is going to make you pay for being off balance. Be on point. Hands up, elbows in, slow rhythm, forward, back, left, right. Forward, back, left, right. Forward, back, left, right. Forward, back, left, right. Now, if you're feeling comfortable, this is to say if you're not, that means you need more practice in the slower rhythm. But if you feel a bit more comfortable now, we're going to speed things up. We're going to get into a nicer flow of things. So, in a fight, a higher pace situation, we're ready for whatever it takes. Hands up, forward, back, left, right. 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 Once you can do that, you're ready for the next stage. But always go back to it. We don't skip it. To this day, I've been boxing for 20 plus years. I still go back to this essential drill to make sure I'm on point and I'm not slacking. We can all slack. It doesn't matter how experienced you are. You get caught off for 1 second doing one silly move, that can be your whole thing over. So now we've got past the very first steps, we need to smooth this out. Right now we've got a lot of jagged edges, it's very hard, and we've got quite a robotic movement. Although it's good, it's our foundation, we need to develop this to make it smoother, to make it more comfortable. You should be moving around in a fight like you do your living room, you do at home. Make sure you're nice and comfortable, nice and loose. But to do this, again, we've got drills. So we're not too robotic, moving at someone like we're stiff, like we're made out of metal. We need to soften ourselves up and practice smooth movement. First of all, what you're gonna do, find an area where you can go end to end. It doesn't matter if it's 2 meters, 3 meters, whatever. As long as you can get a couple reps going forward, couple back, it's fine. We're gonna make sure we're nice and loose, and we're gonna skip in our boxing stance. Forwards and backwards. Now, essentially, this is the same movement as step in, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. But we do it with a bit more of a flow, meaning we're relaxed, there's no tension in the muscles, our body is ready to fire at any time. When you've got too much tension in your muscles when you're moving around, you become tired very quickly. And now if you train boxing regularly and you're questioning your fitness, you think, wow, I do all this running, I do all this exercise, why does it feel like I'm unfit in a ring? Because you're probably contracting your muscles too much and too often. We need to relax and let it turn on and off like a light switch. We turn the power on and we turn it off. This is how you will learn the finer details in boxing and become a lot more skilled and varied in your arsenal. So, relax. Front foot, back foot, front foot, back foot. It's almost like a skit. Now we go back foot, front foot, back foot, front foot. We land strong in our stance. Front, back, back, front, back, front. Front, back, back, front, back, front. Front, back, back, front, back, front. Now, if you've got a bit more space, you can do this on a longer scale, which preferably would be the better option. So if you've got space, it will look like this. Maintaining the gap, definitely not bringing our feet together, like I've just explained to you if you listen to the last bit. Back, front, back, front, back, front. Making sure at no point my feet come together, because if I get cracked at that time, it's game over. Front, back, front, back, front, back. Back, front, back, front, back, front. Nice and smooth. Keeping our feet low to the ground, not taking it very high. We don't want to be airborne. We want to be close to the ground, like we're moving across ice. Again. Back. Forwards. Back. Forwards. Back. Keeping the guard. Forwards. Back. Forwards. Back. Forwards. Now, doing the same thing, moving laterally, breaking out of that cold machinery. We're going to move to the right, smooth with soft knees. Move to the left, smooth. Keeping my knees soft, not rigid, not robotic, soft. Like I'm bouncing off the knees, nice and smooth. I'm comfortable like I would if I'm moving in my living room, at home, because the ring, your environment, should be like you're at home. If it's not, you're going to be the uncomfortable one in there. Soft, there. Again, if you've got a longer scale to do it, it's going to look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, change. 2, 3, 4, change. 1, 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 2, 3, 4. Keeping my feet parallel lines the whole time, just to remind you again, because I want it stuck in your head. That's how we move. Left to right, forward and back, nice and smooth. Now, we can practice this all together, thinking about a crosshair position. Now, I have one in the ring here, but I'm going to show you guys without, because not everyone's got the markings for it, but that's fine. We can still work through it. We're going to go forward, back, right, left, forward, back, right, left, forward, back, right, left, forward, back, right, left. Now, to put all the movements together, moving smooth forwards, back, right and left. Here's the drill. Back to the very first, just in a softer manner. Forwards, backwards, right, freeze, left. Forwards, freeze, back, freeze, right, freeze, left. Forwards, freeze, back, right, left. Once you get the hang of it, forwards, back, right, left. Now you've got pretty much every direction, forward, back, right and left, facing your opponent in a smooth but comfortable movement. How we want to be in the ring. As we get into our last points, we're going to start bringing in some new footwork techniques. So, some you may have heard of, some you might not be familiar with. The first we're going to work on is called the L step. This is a directional change to our right. It's always good moving to a right if you're in there with a right-handed opponent, which you're more likely to be, because we're getting away from their power hand. If you're fighting me and I'm in my boxing stance, it's a lot better to get away from my strong hand, what I'm trying to land, what I'm trying to hurt you with, by going this way around the ring. So this move in particular is a great technique to get away from the power hand, out of danger, what we all want to get out of. Starting off with the boxing stance, as in the name, we have to draw an L with our feet. So I'm going to start by taking my lead foot back to become square, using it to propel my right foot to the right, as we've practiced in our movement, in a skip, bring my lead foot forward again. Now, we're going to do it slow a few times to get used to it. Bring lead foot back, so it's square, under my shoulders, push to the right, and adjust the foot. Again, lead foot back, propel to the right, adjust the stance. One more time, we're drawing that L, the first line of the L, the second line of the L, and adjust. Now, it's always good to try and move your head out of the way at the same time of doing this, so you're not in line for any punches. Now, if we're to speed this up in a bit more of a rhythm, it's going to look like this. Front foot, side foot, front. Again, keeping my guard the whole time, because no move in boxing are you completely safe. No matter what anyone says, there's nowhere where you're completely safe. So we always have to be switched on and ready to engage or defend. If you don't get that in your head, there's going to be a point where you're getting hit with punches and you don't understand why. Most of the time it's because you're not ready, or you haven't trained to be ready at all times. So that's what we're doing. That's what I teach. Be ready at all times. Elbows in, hands up, front foot followed by right foot step. Back in the stance. Soft knees, balance. Again, we want to be in this position for as less time as possible, for a minimal amount of time, because here we are exposed. Like I said, in boxing, you're going to have points where you're exposed. The best you can do is to be out of that position as quick as possible. Front foot, back foot, re-engage. Here, back in. Again, here, back in. Again, here, back in. So as you can see, it's only a short step to the right. And when using this particular move, I always recommend doing it when you're out of range. Don't do it while you're toe-to-toe with the person here, because it's a lot more likely that you're going to get hit in between the move. So if you've got a bit of space and you think, all right, how can I take my opponent off this straight line where I know he's going to come rushing in like a raging bull? Okay, a simple move. When his feet are away from me, I know he can't reach me. Step and just change the angle. A lot of you might be wondering how to change the angle in boxing, but it's moves like this, minimal movements, that actually make a big difference. So we've taken him off this straight line and we've moved him somewhere over here, forcing him to adjust his feet from here to here, or here to here, right? That little adjustment resets his attack and gives you that second longer out of however many seconds in your 3-minute round or 2-minute round you have, giving you a break, giving you an opportunity. So again, we're going to practice. I'm visualizing my opponent out of range. I know we can't reach each other. Just a quick, small, minimal step here to get him to readjust. Again, making sure I'm safe. He can't reach. There. Reset. Can't reach. Okay, I know we're not reaching each other. So I know by using my jab that he's out of range. Change. Again, I don't want to be on this straight line for too long. I don't want to be here where he's setting up an attack. Move. One more time. I don't want to be here setting up an attack. Make him reset. Make him start again. There can be problems with this movement. As I'll go over time and time and again, you're never safe. You're never really completely safe. So, find your stance again. The reason you can be unsafe is by doing this move, you can go straight into an attack. Now, if the opponent's smart, they're switched on and they're ready, and they understand what you're doing, they might place a shot as you bring your feet back in. That's the danger. That's why I say always do this move outside of distance. Don't do it when you're right in front of someone and they could potentially reach you again when you step back in, right? Do it where you know your feet are apart. You know that it's going to force them to adjust and then they have to go in. They're not already in range. So, to make this even less likely that they have the opportunity to attack, we're going to take a wider step round, forcing them to adjust even more, making the angle even wider, making them have to step from this little step to this and really adjust. Now that really throws a person off and their straight line attacks. So from here, I'm going to step my front foot back, side, side, then readjust. Now we have a lot bigger of a movement. A lot more of the ring is getting covered. Again, back, side, side, re-enter. back, side, side, re-enter. Again, opponent's in front of me. Okay, I really need to get away from this guy because I know a big attack is coming. Front, side, side, make him readjust. Again, here, I know he's getting ready to come in. Front, side, side, back in. One more time. I've got my opponent in front of me. Okay, what do? How do I change things up? Front, side, side, re-enter. Right, that's it. Now, that's step 2 out of 3 of the L step. The final step we have to work on is if we happen to be in range. Now, there is opportunities for you to use this move if you are toe-to-toe with the fighter. However, it's a slight adjustment that involves distance. Now, distance is whether you're in range to get hit or out range to get hit. So, to simplify it, we're in range or we're out of range. In this situation, I want you to imagine toe-to-toe with the opponent in close range. Now, if I L-step from here, I'm probably going to get hit and walked into shots if the guy has half a brain. So, what you have to do is change the distance first, then apply the direction change. Apply distance, then make the angle. So to start off with, I'm going to push off of my front foot to propel my back foot here backwards instead of moving my front foot first. So now I've got my distance. Where my back foot has gone, that's my distance applied. That's my direction away from him. Now, from here, we do our regular L step. So I bring my lead foot back, push my right foot to the side, readjust. Now, from there, I've just got space and applied an angle. From here, the opponent is seeing you move back, away from his lead arm, then move to the right. Okay? And that's very hard for them to adjust there. When someone is here, you've pushed away, they can't reach you, they try to throw, and you've moved over here. Now that's tricky. That plays on the mind of an opponent. So we're going to practice that. Here, guard up, nice and high. Push back, lead foot, push away, and our regular L step on top of that. Again, distance, direction, readjust. Distance, direction, readjust. And one more time. Distance, applied with direction, readjust. Now we're really getting out of the range and changing angle. This can be done at any time. If you don't feel safe doing the L step in front of the opponent because they're quick or they're smart, then apply it with the step back and then you're really safe. It's always better safe than sorry, but different moves for different situations. So now, imagine I'm in a regular situation with my opponent, push, step, now I'm really away from them. Now I know they're not getting on to me. Now I know I've really reset their attack. Back, side, adjust. We're ready. Again, nice and loose. You're in your living room, you're comfortable, you're at home. Push, side, side, adjust. One more time. Push, side, side, adjust. Now from that position you can always add on an attack. But today I mainly want to focus on footwork because footwork first, hands after, like I would teach anyone. The last move we're going to work on today is your pivot. Floyd Mayweather even said how important this move is. He said this is one of the foundations and first things he learned when he got in the boxing gym. This is what we're going to work on now. So, a very quick explanation how to pivot. From this position, our boxing stance, we'll lift up our lead heel, allowing us to spin off of the ball of the foot. You've got to imagine that as a pivot, right? A pivot in machinery or an object where something can spin. This is our object. We're attached to the ground, but we have to spin our foot. And that is the best place to spin off of. So, lead heel up, guard up. I'm going to propel myself from my back foot to make power in the spin. So I'm going to push with this foot, turn 90 degrees to my right. From this position, I can reverse it. Just like I'm on a skateboard or a scooter, I'm going to push off of my foot and propel myself 90 degrees back. Here, right? So that's your pivot. I can go 90 left, 90 right. Knowing this is my direction, this is my power. This is my steering wheel, but this is my engine. Hands up, push, land quickly, and back. Push, land quickly, and back. Push, land quickly, and back. Now, From there, you can pivot left and right. But it's no good just pivoting left and right when an opponent is standing directly in front of us. We need reason to do it. And we also need a sensible amount. If I've got the opponent in front of me, the reason I would use this, if an opponent comes charging in and I need to change angle. So I can imagine an opponent stepping in. What I'll do is step with my left foot out to the side, like we done in the beginning, I'll side step, lift up the heel of the lead foot and push off of the rear foot. Now, just like a matador and a bull, making the ball rushing forward and getting an angle to the side, we're turning our opponent. An opponent comes rushing in, step to the left with my lead foot, with my guard high, heel off the ground, push and turn. And my opponent on their straight line attack should be going straight through that area there. Again, step, up, push, land. Be ready to attack or defend. It's also a great position to re-engage and attack while the opponent's off balance. Hands up, step, heel, push, let the opponent go through, be ready to punch or defend. Step, heel, push, be ready. Step, heel, push, be ready. Now, if we get a bit more fluid with the movement, a bit more comfortable, and do it in a real life situation, it's going to look like this. Step, push, turn. Again, an opponent's charging in, lateral step, bring the head, push, re-engage. Be ready to throw punches and attack the opponent straight after. We're going to practice that a few times. Step, turn, re-engage. Step, turn, re-engage. Step, turn, re-engage. And one more time. Step, turn, re-engage. Good. So, throughout this video, I've gone through the very basics, the intermediate movements, and somewhat advanced footwork techniques to move right, move left, move forwards, and move backwards. Now, any of these movements you've seen today, or drills, can be applied with punches. Like we started from the very start, we can apply our jabs, we can apply our 1-2s, and we can apply all sorts of combinations and movements along with it to develop it and make the basics more advanced. However, keep in mind that this has to be refreshed often. If you don't refresh it often, forget about it. If you think you can practice this once and then have it unlocked, you're wrong. You have to practice this essentially all of the time until it becomes muscle memory. And again, even when it's in my muscle memory, I still have to come back to it and protect what I've learned, protect my knowledge. And if you got this far, thank you for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, footwork-based videos, or just pure hand technique-based videos, let me know in the comments and I'm going to get onto it. For now, get your feet right like I teach everyone. All the best fighters in the world have good feet first. Make sure you know how to move your feet, then how to move your hands. Get out of danger before you put yourself in danger. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next video.